So before we talk about Michael's story, I want to state that this isn't a theory, it's an explanation. I'm explaining Michael's story to you guys from what I know and what I think it is. So I want to let you know that before you start watching. Okay, let's start. It starts off when Afton is deep into his work working on the animatronics, and he doesn't have any time to babysit his children. So Michael has to babysit his little brother, the crying child. Michael would scare his brother with a foxy mask over and over, and would hate babying his brother. So he set up a plan with his friends to scare his oh-so-scared little brother on the day of his birthday party. So the day arrived. The crying child was enjoying his party, but then Michael and his friends came up to him and dragged him to the animatronic he was so afraid of. "Let me go, please don't do this," he cried. But they didn't listen. They stopped in front of Fredbear, the giant golden bear animatronic. Michael says to his punk friends,
"Hey guys, I think the little man said he wants to give Fredbear a big kiss."
They bring him up to Fredbear's mouth. He kicks and squirms, but it won't help. Then Michael says,
"On 3. 1, 2.
His fast movements and moist tears don't help at all. The metal spring is locked, leaving Michael and the bullies with a dead crying child in the mouth of a Fredbear animatronic. Michael is struck with grief. At the hospital, Michael and Afton are by him on his deathbed. Michael says,
"I'm sorry."
But William, the dad, says, "I'll put you back together." Back at the house, Michael's having hallucinations of a gold bear in his room, repeating the lines, "It's me," digging his feet in the wet dirt. A couple years pass. Michael's older, and William went away for work, but he hasn't come back in a long time. It's been too long. William isn't coming back because of a certain yellow suit, but Michael doesn't know that. So he remembered what his dad told him to do if this ever happened. He heads to his dad's workroom. It's dusty, full of animatronic parts and metal skeletons. He heads to a shelf, expecting some family's phone numbers and such, but finds a secret bunker. He doesn't understand. It doesn't make sense. He heads in. It's a big bunker, full of more of those animatronics. So he heads deeper into the bunker. He sees more animatronics. They look so human-like. Then he meets one of them, the baby, the circus baby. She and the others think Michael is Afton. He didn't think they looked that similar, did they? He soon realizes that baby has the soul of his sister in her. She explains how they are trapped down here and want to be set free so badly. He agrees to help them. He wanders deeper and deeper, finding more of those animatronics. Then when he's heading back from one of the rooms, one of them attack him. He wakes up in a springlock suit. Baby says he will stay there for a little. After a little bit, he finds himself following Baby. He would lead them to freedom. He finds himself in a room with a big scooper. Baby says,
"If we looked like you, then we would have somewhere to go."
Michael's confused, and then she says,
"The scooper only hurts for a moment."
After a while, he's back on the surface, but doesn't feel like himself. He feels like a balloon begging to pop, but then one day, he couldn't handle it anymore, spewing out the metal remnant-filled animatronic spaghetti. He wakes up. He isn't dead, but how? Maybe it was the remnant inside him, but he's still alive, wishing he wasn't. A couple years pass, and he finds Fazbear Frights, taking the story of him and his family in the pizzeria just to make money. He signs up, hoping to find his dad. As he said,
"I'm going to come find you."
So he signs up. The first night, nothing happens, but then he gets a call.
"We found one. A real one. Gotta go, man."
It's him, Afton, but he still has to worry about the phantoms and the puppet. The souls feel uneasy, so he sets the place on fire, hoping to kill Afton once and for all, and hoping to set the spirits free. He succeeds to do one of those things. He gave the souls their happiest day, but Afton's not dead. Michael will soon realize. A couple years later, he sees a job offer for
becoming a Fazbear Entertainment franchisee. That's right, restaurant ownership and management.
He accepts it, but then he reads paragraph 4. Why would he have to do that? Then he proceeds to do what it says, collecting more and more animatronics to soon realize that they're all here. Afton, Elizabeth, the metal spaghetti that once roamed inside him and Charlie. Henry proceeds to say,
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection, and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you.
Henry sets up an object for Michael, but he didn't feel he didn't want to leave. If it was all going to end, he wanted to go with them. So the pizzeria burns down in ashes.